We're going to stay on this emergency responder theme just a little bit longer. Very often here on City Beat, we share with you the intense training that goes into becoming a member of Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. Well, for many of those men and women, once they get through that training, they like to further their training into one of the specialty areas like Hazmat. Now, this is the team that responds to hazardous material incidents all over southern Nevada. It's a 240-hour course. 15 people just graduated. Eric Sorensen, one of our editors and photographers, put together a video to honor their graduation. We'd like to share part of it with you.
For those of you that don't know, you're becoming a part of the only Class 1 hazmat team in southern Nevada.
One of the big things coming into decon is that as you're coming in, whoever the entry team leader is, they should have you do an air check.
Grateful for all of you who have stepped up to take on some additional responsibility. Thank you so much for your willingness to go through this training and become a hazmat technician for the organization.
Right now, we're needed. There's a big need for hazmat techs. We're short in our department. We had a lot of promotions from the firefighter paramedic ranks to captain and engineer. So we were short on firefighter and paramedic hazmat techs, which these academies are filling the void. And we are the only Type 1 team in the valley.
Your objective primarily is to go down range, upright the barrels. Due to the inability to stay out of the product, relate to command the need for technical decon. After that is done, decon group, determine the methods of decontamination, and properly decon all members who have to go down range.
Things are always changing. You'll never go on the quote-unquote same fire. You'll never go on the same. Everything's changing, especially hazmat. There's more stuff out there, more stuff being transported by rail, by on the streets, you know, all that stuff, and products are always changing.
Did our best to run all of the members or all the students of this classroom through deconning, the correct procedures of deconning from step A through step Z.
Clark County they used to have a hazmat team. They no longer do, but they have some great props. So we went out there. One of the things we do on fuel tankers is if there's a tanker rolled over on its side, before they upright it, it has to be unloaded. So that could be one of our responsibilities, and we're practicing drilling through the aluminum, making a hole to put a vacuum tube in to unload it.
Whether it's intentional or accidental, you know, there's hazardous materials all over the place, and the millions and millions of shipments that happen across the country are bound to come through Las Vegas at one point or another. To have all these personnel available to help mitigate that stuff if something were to go wrong is crucial.
Scenario was we had our whole with any hazmat scenario you have decon, so you have an entry group and you have research. So with that we had everything set up, the decon. We had our research group that got a little information going on possibly what we had. Then entry goes in, kind of does a little recon mission, figures out what they have. Is it a container? Is it a drum? Is it, you know, what is possibly leaking? And then an idea of what it is. And then at that point, then they decide, can they mitigate it or solve it, try to slow the leak, upright a drum, so on and so forth, and then proceed with the next steps. So, I mean, ultimately our job is to mitigate it, figure out what it is, make sure it's not endangering anybody else, and then solve the problem.
Every time you get roved into a hazmat station, get your hands on the tools, get your hands on the monitors, go through the SOPs, because if you don't use it, you lose it, and stay familiar with everything. There's a lot of equipment, there's a lot of things that we need to know, so stay familiar with it.
This is the first of 2 classes. As soon as those 15 graduated, another 15 got started. It's too much of a strain to take 30 firefighters out of the rotation for this intense training. So good luck to the current class members and congratulations to the graduates.